Hi, how's it going? I hope everybody's week has been okay. Mine has been all right. Been getting some work done, writing some tunes. I'm coming to you skull capped because my inability to get a haircut or my ability to trust Rachel to give me one is taking me to this place. Yeah, it's getting weird, guys. Burn it down till the embers smoke on the ground. Start new when your heart is an empty room. The walls of the deepest blue. Home's face, how it ages when you're away. Spring blooms and you find the love that's true. But you don't know what now to do. The chase is all you know. She stopped running months ago, and all you see is where else you could be when you're at home. And out on the street are so many possibilities to not be alone. Flames and smoke climbed out of every window and disappeared with everything that you held dear. But you shed not a single tear for the things that you didn't need, 'cause you knew you were finally free. And all you see is where else you could be when you're at home. And out on the street are so many possibilities to not be alone. And all you see is where else you could be when you're at home. And out on the street are so many possibilities to not be alone. I've been doing that one on piano recently, but I kind of dig it on guitar. Yeah, I'm gonna do all guitar stuff today. I failed to get the piano mic'd up in time, but we'll get back to that at some point. No more lighthouses to deceive me. Just leave me floating on the open ocean. Let the moonlight take me anywhere in the tidal flow. And if I capsize, it's alright, 'cause I've been feeling too invincible. And need to know depths deeper than the deepest of connections. Oh, 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 oh. The sudden love. Oh, 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 oh. Is not enough. There's no beacon tonight to guide me. I'll finally break the shackles of direction. Let the headlights lead me anywhere that they want to go. I feel at home now, out on a bough in the lattice of the backbone, where the highways are holding in the pieces of our broken. Oh, 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 oh. The sudden love. Oh, 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 oh. It's not enough. Oh, 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 oh. The sudden love. Oh, 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 oh. It's not enough. Oh, 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 oh. The sudden love. Oh, 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 oh. It's not enough. Oh, 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 oh. The sudden love. Oh, 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 oh. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. That song, of course, is called Autumn Love. It's off our last record. A lot of you guys have been asking for this next tune. I haven't really played it acoustic before. It might be one of those tunes that kind of needs the whole band, but I'm going to give it a shot because we haven't played it yet. And this is a song that is on the Photo album. And it's one of my favorite tunes from this record. I think it's one of the best ones on there. So here we go. Yeah, it goes like this. There's a saltwater film on the jar of your ashes. I threw them to sea, but a gust blew them backwards, and the sting in my eye, the chew that inflicted, was par for the course. Just as when you were living, it's no stretch to say you were not quite a father, but a donor of seeds to a poor single mother that would raise us alone. We never saw the money that went down your throat through the hole in your belly. 13 years old in the suburbs of Denver, standing in line for Thanksgiving dinner at the Catholic Church. The servers wore crosses to shield from the sufferance plaguing the others. Styrofoam plates, cafeteria tables, charity wreaths of cheap wine and pity, and thinking of you. I do every year when we count all our blessings, and I wonder what we're doing here. You're a disgrace to the concept of family. The priest won't divulge that fact in his homily, and I'll stand up and scream. If the morning remain quiet, you can deck out a lie in a suit, but I won't buy it. I won't join in the procession that's speaking their piece using $5 words while praising his integrity just 'cause he's gone. It doesn't change the fact he was a bastard in life, thus a bastard in death, yeah. I kind of went somewhere else in the middle of that last verse. Sometimes when I'm playing a show, I try to stay really present, try to really like be in the song the entire time. But sometimes we've been on tour for quite a while. I can almost kind of leave my body a bit, and I think I kind of did that a little bit right there. Forgot where I was. All right, let's do a tune, and then we'll do some Q&A. I'm gonna play a tune from the record I made with Jay Farrar, called "One Fast Move," where I'm going. And this is the first song. There's a little kind of history on that record. So when the project came to me, it had been sold to me as this idea that we're going to get a bunch of songwriters and they're all going to do it. You know, Jay was writing all these tunes. Jay Farrar was writing all these tunes, and you know, I'd been told, oh, it's going to be this guy and that guy and this woman and that person, and this is going to be this huge kind of cavalcade of stars, so to speak, on the record. And I was like, oh, that sounds great. Yeah, really great. So I went down to San Francisco expecting to record some of the record a couple tunes with Jay. And I got down there, and I guess I was expecting kind of like a We Are the World or something like that. I thought there'd be a lot of people showing up to do something, you know, I don't know what I thought. And Jay and I went out to this bar on 17th and Cap in San Francisco. This is when I was drinking, of course. And we were having some drinks, and he's kind of a pretty stoic dude. And I was like, so who else is coming down to do this record? It's going to be pretty exciting. I heard this person, that person, this and that. It's like, no, it's just me and you. I was like, it's just me and you. And I was like, okay, cool. So I was like, okay, I'll roll with this. So I liked Jay and I liked his music. And we went in the studio the next morning. I was a little hungover. And this was the first thing we recorded. And one thing led to another, and we ended up doing the whole record. So in a way, I guess it was kind of a blessing that nobody else showed up. So here's a song. Only interested in the sad music, the voice of Willamine. She makes men sigh and women wonder. Where is all the beauty coming from? Why? Nobody ever dares to write true story of love. Hiding under buried junkyards throughout the world. With her sad abstract letters, she talks with a broken heart. We're gonna get married and fly away. Roam the Genghis Khan clouds. Anybody who's never done this is crazy. Nobody ever dares to write the true story of love. And the secret underground truth of desire. Never mentioned in the newspaper. The mat of night admits the groaning godlike love. We're gonna get married and fly away. Roam the Genghis Khan clouds someday. We're gonna get married and fly away. Roam the Genghis Khan clouds. Anybody who's never done this is crazy. All right. Okay, so let's see, guys. What's on your mind today? Okay, wait, they're going pretty quick here. Let me see if I can find the. Saw you in 2003 Chicago Metro show and one this past summer during Lala. What's your favorite Chicago spot when you visit? Man, you know, Chicago's one of those towns that we're there often, and I really love it. I lived in Great Lakes, Illinois when I was a kid. My dad was in the Navy, and we were stationed there from 86 to 88, I believe. So I kind of fell in love with Chicago when I was a kid, and then whenever we go back, it feels very familiar to me. I just love the Art Institute, man. It's like you guys have just one of the greatest art museums in the world, and just the breadth of work there is absolutely astounding. I don't get there every time I'm in town, but usually when we have a day off, I love going there. Kind of some weird places or places you might not expect to see me. I love a place called Red Square Banya. It's like this kind of very old Russian style banya. Like I love those kind of things. So I go there from time to time. Yeah, I don't know. Chicago's great. I could go on and on. Somebody asked me, have you ever done the Leadville 100? That is a race, for those who are not familiar. It's an ultra marathon, 100-mile race in Leadville, Colorado. I have not run that race. I would like to at some point. But as I might have stated at some point during the show, any event between now and the foreseeable future is not happening. And I'm signed up for a 100-mile race in August called the Cascade Crest 100, which was my first 100-mile race. And I'm going back to do it again, hopefully. But we'll see, because, we are trying to make plans in the future, and hopefully we can keep to those plans, but we need to stay safe, and that's the most important thing. Let's see here. Any tips? Somebody else, do you have any tips on lyric writing? I guess my only piece of advice would be, to try, when one's writing lyrics, to try to, and I might have said this on the show at some point before, but to try to kind of view it in your mind as if you're in the scene, like you're watching a movie, but you have control over the characters, and it's like you're kind of playing almost like a video game of sorts with the people in your song, and you can get them to do whatever you want it to do. So I would say that just to place yourself within the song, place yourself within the scene that's occurring in your particular tune, and really try to write from within the song, within the character. I find that's the most helpful, and I think some of my best songs are the ones where I'm able to do that the most effectively. What's your favorite indie rock college bands? I've been on a huge REM to this day is still one of the most important bands to me, and I think that from the very first time I heard them when I was a kid, I absolutely fell in love with them, and they were the quintessential college rock band of certainly the early mid '80s. And I also really, there's so many I could go on and on, but REM's a big one. Superchunk was a really big one for me as well. Yeah, but I think REM's the number one for me. Okay. Somebody asked me. There's some good ones. I'm not going to put them up. Let's see. Okay. Your solo work is under Benjamin Gibbard. Is that for stage purposes, or do you prefer to be called Benjamin instead of Ben? That's that is a good question, I think. I just feel that Benjamin feels much more formal. It feels like it kind of fits the occasion for any kind of solo releases. It just feels a little more formal. But not even my mother calls me Benjamin. So you guys can keep calling me Ben. That's fine. But I just feel it's just it just sounds a little bit more proper. So I like using it for credits and for solo stuff. Okay, let's do two more. Let's see. Seen any good movies lately? Strangely, we haven't been watching hardly any movies. My favorite streaming service is the Criterion channel, because it's just such a wealth of amazing movies. And normally when I'm on tour or I'm traveling, I'm downloading stuff from that app and I'm just devouring it. But for whatever reason, I just have not been feeling like watching any movies. One show that we've been watching a lot recently that we really like is a show called Occupied. It's on Netflix. It's a Norwegian show. It's about a kind of white glove takeover of Norway by Russia. It's set in the kind of not so distant future. I think there's 3 seasons of it. I'm really loving that. It's a really great show, really well acted, really well shot. And so we're making our way through that. We've watched all the normal stuff, Tiger King, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, that's so no movies right now, but been watching that. Oh, actually, you know what? The last movie I saw that I loved was the movie Emma, which was made by my friend Autumn DeWild. She's an amazing photographer, been a friend of the band and friend of mine for almost 20 years. And this is her first feature-length film. It's a version of Jane Austen's Emma, and it's phenomenal. And I know because nobody can go to theaters, you can rent these things on whatever platform you choose. And I would highly recommend it. It's absolutely wonderful. Okay, let's, somebody asked, where'd that go? Last one. Somebody asked, is this really live? Yeah, it really is. I can show you my phone, 424. So it's definitely live. We are doing this live. Okay, one more here. If you could meet anyone, any famous person, dead or alive, who would you want to meet? God, dead or alive. Dead just opens it up to too many things. I mean, you know, God, I don't know. I guess I would say I'd like to. It's been said you never want to meet your heroes, but I think I'd like to meet Kerouac. I'd like to have a cup of coffee with that dude. I mean, there's other people. There's so many people who've been alive, right, and who are now dead. It's almost hard to choose from. But I'll just go with Kerouac. That seems like an easy answer for now. All right, here's a song from our latest release. It's from the Blue EP. If you know my name, why are you calling out to an old love, to an old love? When you need someone, why do you always run to your Lord up above, to your Lord up above? And I just want to understand you. I don't need to be your man in blue. Your day's all the same, prayers like drops of rain, as you wait for the flood to cleanse everyone. Can you hear my voice? And high lonesome rejoice, sing a song for you, in and out of tune. And I just want to understand. I don't need to be your man in blue. And I just want you to see yourself the way I do. I don't need to be your man in blue. No, I don't need to be your man in blue. I saw somebody asking a question on the chat there about this guitar, and if I play any other guitars or just play this Epiphone, blah blah blah. And I may have mentioned on one of the, I know I mentioned on one of the other broadcasts that I bought this guitar off of my pal Tara Jane O'Neill, and when I bought it from her, the strings were dead. They had been on this guitar forever, and I hate new guitar strings on acoustic guitars. I think they sound terrible. They're so bright and they squeak. I don't like them. So when I bought this guitar from her, it had strings that had to be 78 years old, and they sounded so good to me. And I took this guitar to a fellow that I take to work on my guitars, and he's a great dude. He does amazing work. But I asked him, I left a note on this guitar. I said, please do not change the strings on this guitar. Please do not change them. I love the way it sounds. And he was working on a number of instruments for the band, and he forgot to not change the strings, and I got it back and it had brand new strings on it, and I was like, no, because it sounded so good before. So I am pretty much playing this guitar exclusively, not only because I love it, because I need to get the strings dead. I need to get them all dirty and greasy, and I want them to get back to the way they sounded before, where they sound like they haven't been changed in forever. So I do have a number of other acoustic guitars back in that little closet back there. Maybe at some point I'll give you guys a tour of that. But for now, I'm just kind of playing this one until I get the strings nice and nasty. Let's see, Elizabeth Ann Page requested this song, so I'll play it for you. The wind picked up, the fire spread, and the grapevine seemed left for dead. The northern sky looked like the end of days, the end of days. The wake-up call to a rancid room sounded like an alarm of impending doom, to warn us it's only a matter of time before we all burn, before we all burn, before we all burn, before we all burn. We bought some wine and some paper cups near your daughter's school, and we picked her up and drove to a cemetery on a hill, on a hill. We watched the plumes paint the sky gray. She laughed and danced through the field of graves, and there I knew would be all right. Everything would be all right, would be all right, would be all right, would be all right. The news reports on the radio said it was getting worse as the ocean air fanned the flames. But I couldn't think of anywhere where I would have rather been to watch it all burn away. Burn away. The firemen worked in double shifts with prayers for rain on their lips, and they knew it was only a matter of time. You guys doing okay? Everybody having a good time? You might notice below here, we're doing another shout out to one of my favorite organizations, Teen Feed in the U District of Seattle. As I stated at an earlier show, my sister, Megan, used to be the executive director of Teen Feed, and so I've been a supporter and a patron of sorts of theirs for quite some time, and everybody's hurting right now. There is no hierarchy of needs, so to speak, as far as people needing things more than others. I think maybe, I think, well, I should say that's not true. There are people who are much more in need than others. And I think for me, I'm very concerned with a lot of the kids who are on the streets in the U District right now. Their health, their ability to get a healthy meal, their ability to avoid this virus. So if you're enjoying the show and you have a couple dollars you would feel comfortable parting with, it would mean a lot to me if you guys would follow the link below and give a couple bucks. That'd be really great. All right, I'm going to play a song. This is one of my favorite songs in our catalog. And I think because this one is a very nostalgic tune for me. This is a song I wrote about our kind of summer nights in Bellingham when I was younger. And one thing we used to do, in all seriousness, there was a house that my friend Kelly Huckabee lived at with a bunch of other people. It was a house. It was maybe a 4-bedroom house, and I think over this one summer there were over 10 people living there. And you'd call the answering machine because nobody had cell phones. It was like 1997. Call the house and you've reached Kelly, Steve, Billy, Sarah, and eventually the real estate company called, the property management company called, and realized that there were like 10 people living in this house and evicted everyone. But what we used to do is we'd take all the furniture, we'd put it out in the front yard, we'd hook up the lamps and play music, and it was just a really good time. And when I left Bellingham, I wanted to write a song that kind of in tribute to that time and those people. So I wrote this tune. I remember when the days were long and the nights when the living room was on the lawn. Constant quarreling, the childish fits in our clothes in a pile on the ottoman. All the slander and double speak were only foolish attempts to show you did not mean anything but the blatant proof was your lips touching mine in the photo booth. And as the summer's ending, the cold air will rush your hard heart away. You were so condescending, and this is all that's left. Scraping paper to document. I packed a change of clothes and it's time to move on. Cup your mouth to compress the sound, skinny dipping with the kids from a nearby town. And everything that I said was true as the flashes blinded us in the photo booth. But I lost track and then those words were said. You took the wheel and you steered us into my bed. Soon we woke and I walked you home, and it was pretty clear that it was hardly love. And as the summer's ending, the cold air will rush your hard heart away. You were so condescending, and this is all that's left. Scraping paper to document. I packed a change of clothes and it's time to move on. And as the summer's ending, the cold air will rush your hard heart away. You were so condescending as the alcohol drained the days. And as the summer's ending, the cold air will rush your hard heart away. You were so condescending. This is all that's left. Scraping the empty bottles, spent cigarettes. So pack a change of clothes, 'cause it's time to move on. Speaking of Bellingham, one of the things that, and Kerouac, coming back around to something we were talking about earlier, one of the things I loved and still love about Kerouac, and specifically is that he kind of made heroes out of his friends. He made this kind of timeless, kind of wrote these timeless stories about normal people living sometimes normal, but oftentimes kind of, left of center lives. And when I was reading him when I was younger, it was something that I really connected to, because I like the idea of, kind of almost like bronzing my friends, and bronzing my experiences, kind of trying to document them in song so that they would exist, for all intents and purposes, much longer than the people in the songs. And I suppose that was my intention with this next song as well. And this one goes out to Sad Now Sown. Man, my penmanship is worse than a doctor's at this point. I don't know what's going on. All right, sorry if I got that wrong. Whenever I come back, the air on railroad is making the same sounds. And the shop fronts on Holly are dirty words, asterisks in for the vowels. And we peer through the windows, new bottoms on bar stools. The people remain the same, with prices inflating. As if saved from the gallows, there's a bellow of buzzers, and the people stop working. And they're all so excited. Passing through unconscious states. When I awoke, I was on the highway. Oops. Got crossed up. Now we all know the words were true, the sappiest songs. Yes, I'll put them to bed, but they won't sleep. Just shuffling the sheets, to toss and turn. You can't begin to get it back. Passing through unconscious states. When I awoke, and I was on the onset of a later stage. The headlights are beacons on the highway, 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 highway. I play that one better. All right, guys, I'm going to play one more tune for you. Thanks a lot for coming. As always, it's good to see you guys. Actually, not maybe to see you, but to see your handles, and I can also see your faces on the handles. I'm going to play a song by Neil Young for you now. This is one of my favorite Neil Young songs. It's on the record Zuma, which is one of my favorite records of his. And yeah, man. I'll see you guys soon. Take care of yourselves. Drink lots of water. Stay 6 feet away from anyone you're not currently living with. So, all right, guys. I'll see you soon. Don't cry, no tears around me. Don't cry, no tears around me. 'Cause when all the water's gone, the feeling lingers on. Oh, true love ain't too hard to see. Don't cry, no tears around me. Well, I wonder who's with her tonight. And I wonder who's holding her tight. With nothing. Okay, here it goes. Here it is. Forgot it. But there's nothing I can say to make him go away. Oh, true love ain't too hard to see. Don't cry, no tears around me. But there's nothing I can say to make him go away. Oh, true love, it ain't too hard to see. But don't cry, no tears around me. A little rough, but I made it. All right, guys, take care. We'll see you next week.